Hey, welcome. Welcome to this Thirsty Thursday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tabacco. We're coming today as we do every single day live from the Liquid Lunch Outpost right here downtown on Broadway. And of course, we're in the Question Tequila Studios. Today we're joined in the studios with even more joy and spirits with our friends from Iconic Brands, a publicly traded company that distributes many wonderful liquor brands. And they send us a whole new fortification of Hooters Heat, BV Vodka from Chaz Palminteri, a little Prosecco, Bellissima Prosecco, Christy Brinkley's vegan Prosecco, sugar-free, amazing. We're going to be doing great in that department here today. And on a Thirsty Thursday, the market is thirsty for more gains, up 230 points. Now that Donald Trump has showed and projected strength across the world, Iran backed down. They fired some dusty old rockets at some empty bases. And now people feel strong again going into a great economy. And my good friend, veteran New York Stock Exchange broker, Joe Dente, was here a little earlier. And he was saying one simple thing: you can't fight the Fed. As long as you see the Fed coordinating and cooperating with the president's economic plans, this market could be past 30, as I told you in the end of December, very soon. Market could be much higher. Not as high as we will be in one moment when I'm joined by my managing editor and co-host, Frank Morano.
Hey, hello, Frankie. There, John.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great.
How is it over in the new Frank zone? Are you getting accustomed yet? You settling in?
I'm digging it. I like it.
You are? All right.
The farther I can get away from you, the better we all are.
I kind of like it too. You know,
yeah,
I see you over
absolutely.
there. Even when you're not on, I feel security that you're like right there.
I like it.
You're there for me. Frankie, you know, we try to keep it real. Me and you don't always agree on everything. You know, you put your heart and soul into making sure that we have a Democrat and a Republican. We have thoughtful conversation on the show. But it's just outright blatant how these left-wing people, they preach about equality and love and all this other stuff. And it's just naked intolerance for anyone who doesn't agree with them. And yesterday in the Twitterverse, as you know, our good friend, Billy Smith.
Oh, Bill Smith, great guy.
Former chief of staff to Congressman Dan Donovan.
And a good friend of mine.
And great friend of us both. He's active on social media. And Alec Baldwin puts up this tweet, okay? This is the fake Donald Trump, okay? He puts up this tweet, okay? You see the tweet? We have it up there? Okay.
Well, for those of us that are in the Frank zone, maybe you can read it.
Well, if I had my monitor working, I can read it, but I don't have my monitor working. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to read it to you right off my phone, where I have it right now. And it was really made me sick this morning driving into work because while the president was speaking yesterday and giving a very tempered presidential speech, not provocative, not escalating, okay? If they're done, we're done. We have military, we don't want to use it, okay? The esteemed Alec Baldwin tweets out, "I'm listening now to one of the world's great fomenters of violence and hatred lecture Iran on violence and hatred." Okay, so he's basically saying Trump's worse than Iran, okay? William J. Smith replies to his tweet and says, do we have that, the reply there? Okay. "Any plans to assault people on the street?
Oh!
You've been quiet lately."
Oh.
And I think if you're a public figure and you beat up reporters intermittently over your career, it's a fair thing for someone to say to Alec Baldwin. You know, while you're taking time to, you know, bash the president and compare him to worse than Iran, you know, do you have any plans to go out and assault anyone? You seem mad, you know? And then Alec Baldwin, okay, writes back, you know, F you. Basically.
Wow.
That's the tolerant response, okay? And then this one, he got blocked by Alec Baldwin, okay? And the block notice comes up under the HABF Foundation with a nice picture of his family.
Oh,
okay?
How nice.
So Alec Baldwin is literally cursing people out on his family, I guess, Twitter page. Strange. Billy's a nice guy, too. We hung out with him and his wife at your New Year's Eve party.
Great guy. He, his wife, Mary Ellen, and their son, William J. Smith III, all right. Fine Americans.
Fantastic. What else is going on out there in the world, Frankie boy?
All right, well, John, speaking of the Iran situation, we're all still keeping an eye on this plane that went down over Iran. Initially, it was reported as being mechanical failure. Then we were told, no, human error. Now, apparently, a lot of people, including both Ukrainian sources, because remember, this was a plane that was headed to Kyiv and had a lot of Ukrainian citizens on board, and Pentagon sources, of course, unnamed, as most Pentagon sources prefer to be, they're now examining the possibility that it was either terrorism or an accidental missile strike. So we're watching that, but I think, the circumstances seem to fit. Iran is launching missiles into another country, in this case Iraq. Right around that time, a plane's flying around Iranian airspace, and it goes down.
Right.
I could certainly see a situation in which a missile hit this Iranian plane, hit this Ukrainian plane over Iran.
So what you're saying, and what maybe one conspiracy theory out there is, one of those old missiles they shot at the U.S. bases got off course, and instead of killing a whole bunch of American soldiers, which they wanted to do, they took down a passenger jetliner and killed a mixture of 150 Canadians and Ukrainians.
A London-based global information firm known as IHS Markit has issued a report, and they're saying that the jet that crashed after taking off from this Tehran airport was mistakenly shot down by an Iranian missile. According to the report, they say, quote, photographs purportedly taken near the site of the crash and circulated on social media appear to show the guidance section of an SA-15 Gauntlet short-range surface-to-air missile, which landed in a nearby garden. Now, the firm said it could not confirm the authenticity of the photos, but assesses them to be credible. So I don't know anything about this firm. I don't know if they're the most credible entity in the world, or the least.
IHS Markit is a big, large, reputable firm. I mean, they don't just come out with stories.
All right, and now, John, just moments ago, actually, as we've been talking here, breaking news, U.S. officials are now confident that Iran shot down this Ukrainian passenger jet carrying 176 people. That's being reported by CBS News.
Supposedly, God bless them all, supposedly there was a lot of Canadian citizens there that were all in Iran to celebrate a big wedding, and you're going to see that a large total of them are our fellow neighbors here from Canada. But Frankie, you know what I think. Epstein did not kill himself. And that's one of my biggest conspiracy theories.
Well, no, but you've gone further. There's a lot of people that think Epstein didn't kill himself. There's a lot of people that think Weinstein didn't kill himself. You've gone even further to say that Epstein is still alive.
That's right. I'm saying the same thing. He didn't kill himself. In fact, he's still alive.
Right. That's radically deep end territory.
Many people on the internet and memes and everything are saying what I say. Epstein did not kill himself.
By the way, I heard you on television with Hillary Kramer on, I think it was Monday. At this point, now, are we finally ready to short Boeing? The two of you were bullish on Boeing. Now, another Boeing plane goes down after the 737 mishaps, after the space mishap.
I wouldn't
fly Boeing.
I always tell people, when there's big down days, when there's big up days, you're with me all the time. I say, namaste, stay calm. Okay, don't buy into the fear and hysteria, either to the upside or to the downside. I think, Donald Trump just announced we're going to have a Space Force, right? And guess who's going to be making all these new products and aerospace engineering things to go to outer space for our Space Force? Boeing, Lockheed Martin, the industrial complex that we were talking about yesterday. And I think, look, if Boeing were short right now and started really tanking, it would take the whole market with us, as I pointed out in my Monday morning quarterback newsletter. But the market is so strong right now that it's still up with Boeing down. So if Boeing gets its act together, puts in some new safety measures, they just brought in new management, so I'm sure he's going to create some transparency. I have no dog in the fight. I don't own Boeing. I'm not short Boeing. Smart people tell me that so goes Boeing, so goes the market.
All right. Well, John, we have two of my favorite women on the show today. Two beautiful, intelligent women. Martha Bonetta, who is going to be largely filling my role for the rest of the show. And Carol Alt is going to be here. Both women, two very different backgrounds, very different perspectives on the world, but both gorgeous and very intelligent. However, I want to play for you some comments by someone who is one of my least favorite women in the country today, and that is Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Listen to this reaction from Ilhan Omar as she was talking about and hearing about military servicemen being killed in action in places like Iraq. Listen to this.
Hostilities in Iraq. It doesn't deal with an incident or a dislike or someone in a car coming in from the airport. That is the danger of not acting, and I do think with our leadership, meaning the leadership of CPC, that.
Well, so how about that? How's that for a class act?
Not like the ladies of Liquid Lunch.
That's for sure.
That is for sure.
Now, we still have, for those of you that are, and I know we have many women watching Liquid Lunch as well, and for you, we have plenty of attractive men on the show. Don't worry, it's not limited to just me and John. But look at this handsome face. Chase Backer from Metropolitan Magazine, recently painted by Peter Max, who I didn't even know was still painting. I thought he was secluded and borderline dementia somewhere. He's going to be on the show. Someone that was remarked by our makeup artist to be quite handsome, even without makeup. He's going to be on the show.
We could use some more of that. I'll take a six-pack of that.
And Mike Ghazali, who is running for Congress in one of these districts, one of these purple districts that you're trying to turn red.
Yeah, and we had Mike Ghazali on before, and I look forward to talking to him about how great his campaign is going, and hopefully, we need to flip the Republicans. I know you get mad at me when I say we, like I'm part of the Republicans, when I'm not. I'm an independent, but I tend to come down more toward the Republican side. My purple's a little redder than maybe others, but the Republicans need a Congress that supports the president 100%. So 19 of those swing votes from last year, from the last election, will be helpful, I think. We'll talk to Mike Ghazali about that. We're going to take a quick break, okay? As Frankie mentioned, Mike Ghazali is going to join us next. Chase Backer and Carol Alt are going to be here talking about all the great things happening in New York in the world of fashion and modeling. And we got it all for you today and more. And we'll mix it up in the second hour with E. O'Brien Murray and Timmy Collins. We're going to take a quick break. More Liquid Lunch for you right after this.